And I was paired against this little kid. He's like very little, but he was higher rated than me, so I was like, okay. And Brian Wall played him in the first round, and he came up to me and he was like, "Oh, you're playing that kid, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "He sucks!" Like, really loud, but in a whisper. Anyway, Brian was right. I don't have trouble against little kids like a lot of people do. I don't know, like, I some people hate playing little kids because they don't like losing to them, but they're just, like, really weak computers. Like Rhett and, like, other people. So yeah, it's like, they're annoying to play, and he had a lot of annoying habits, but for me, it doesn't bother me in a way that, like, distracts me from the game. It makes me angry, which makes me play better. The type of anger that makes me play better, because I just really want to beat him in a really, really, like, solid, clean, concise way. So I like it, because I like it when they cry. I like to make the little kids cry. I think that's fun. Unless they're nice. Was this the bishop takes f6 kid? This was. So, okay. So, also I figured he'd know a lot of theory. Much more than I did, so I was sort of nervous on that front. But that just made me think, okay, I'll play moves that aren't the main moves. So, like, this was all theory I knew. And here I'm not totally sure. So I just played Najdorf moves. I played another Najdorf move. And then he played h4, which I know is a move. And I know that the idea is to play bishop g5. And I was pretty sure that in this specific line you can castle. But I didn't really want to play into that. I kind of wanted to get him out of what he knew. Because I felt like he would fall apart if I did that. And I was like, I don't know, like, Najdorf? I don't know. So, that was me. Anyway. I don't know. I'm just gonna play Najdorf moves. And then he, like, then he played a3. And if you're playing a3, if you're pushing pawns, like, as white and then Najdorf over here, something's already gone wrong. And this was, like, a really good sign, in my opinion, because that made it clear that he had no idea what he was doing, because he's not really in theory, I thought, anymore. Because I just don't think a3 could possibly be a good move. So I play knight b6. I actually considered knight c5 for a long time, which is probably okay, but I just found this position unappealing. I'm not really even sure what it is. I just found this whole situation very unappealing. Maybe I should take with, like, the queen or something, but I decided it was probably a pretty terrible move and played knight b6. Don't know why I spent so much time looking at it, though. And then he took on f6. He, like, slammed it down and then looked at me like I was an asshole. And then I, like, very slowly just, like, took back with the g-pawn and then, like, looked at him. And then he did this. Like, he was, like, sitting up all happy, and he went like that. So he was a master of hiding his emotions. His body language. I guess he thought I was just gonna give him the d-pawn or something. I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking. And then he thought for a very long time. First he plays knight d5 pretty quickly. And okay, maybe it's better to take with the bishop? Like, I felt like maybe this was technically better. But looking at the two positions, like after this and after this, I liked the other one a lot better. And I talked to Richard about this, and I actually ended up convincing him that this taking this way is, like, gives me better chances. Because I had a few reasons why I decided to take this way. Number one, bishops. Number two, so my bishops are bad right now. Like, he looked surprised when I played this move, because he thought I was gonna do this and just, like, trade for some reason. But, okay, my bishops look bad for now, but I like that I'm not allowing this, and I like I'm defending these light squares. And I can probably fix my bishops at some point. And his knight is quite bad. His queen is tied down. His bishop has no ambition, really. And I just thought that an inexperienced player would have a really hard time here. So knight takes bishop d7, and then he had a long think. I couldn't find like what his plan was supposed to be here. Bishop d8, a5. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. Another little Najdorf idea that comes up a few times. So I was having trouble figuring out what he's supposed to do here. So I was like, I'll just let him figure it out, because I don't think he's going to come up with anything that great. So he plays bishop e2, which, okay, what are you doing now? This idea is completely shut down, and now my bishop is ready to maneuver in some way or another. And this is a pawn, this is stupid, this is tied down, this is tied down, this is stupid. So the way he decided to fix this position was by playing the worst move I've ever seen. And can't tell you how happy I was to see this move. I'd like to hear him talk about his thought process, but maybe one day when he's a titled player. So e4 obviously, and notice if queen d4, I can just play rook h6 and bishop f6 is coming, and this is well, first I could throw this move in. But the point is that this is going to be happening, and he's going to lose. So, can't do that. I thought that was maybe his idea. The only thing I can think of is he wants to square for his knight, but he's never really going to get it in any meaningful way. Like, it might sit there for a minute or two, but it's not going to be doing anything, and it's going to probably have to move immediately. So now... Yeah, so I was thinking that he had two possible plans that made sense. Both involve playing rook c1. The first one being rook c1, queen d1, and possibly go after this pawn. And the second one is to maybe even try to get c4 in somehow, which is going to be difficult. But he goes for rook c1, and I played the most obvious move on the board. Don't really have to think much about that one. So now queen d1, but the issue is, this queen had a job, and her only job was not just defending c2. I mean, putting the rook here fixed that. What this undid was now a5 is possible, and it's looking really scary for him now. I'm not sure what he's supposed to do here. I know what he did was, like, really bad, but I'm not sure what else there is. Because, I mean, b4 is coming, and he has just got nothing. So he plays this move. I mean, okay, you're defending this, but you're not stopping it. If anything, I feel like you're making it better for me. Like b4 is going to be better. It's going to kill you. If I get b4 in, you're going to lose. So I think for a little while, and I decide to just calmly play rook g8, which I like a lot, because if he has to play rook h2, I feel like the game's over. And I guess he agreed with this because he took this very important pawn h5. But now rook g2 and queen f1. Okay, so here this is pretty cool actually. I saw an idea in the game that I ruled out for okay, it's just fucking crazy, okay? Just hold on. So I play rook g3, and my idea is I want to do this. And it looks like very difficult for him to stop. But then he plays queen f2. And I realize that if I play rook to d3, bishop e2, and if I take on d5, c4 traps my rook. And so I decided not to do that. I decided to just play rook g7. But the interesting thing is that if we go down this line, the problem with this actually is not c4, because the computer says that I can do this and be better, which is not something I considered. I would lose this from both sides. I really would. I mean, rook d3 is actually a bad move, but not for this reason. He should play bishop e2, but after it takes, he should just play h5, and now my rook is, like, cut off. And he has counterplay now, and it's like closer to equal. So I'm glad I didn't go for it. I don't think I really practically could have easily won with that queen sack. But the reason it was so upsetting for me is because my queen wants to be on b6. That's where my queen belongs, and that's where it wants to be. But I let him get queen f2 in with a tempo. So I'm like, feeling like I'm really fucking this up now. Because I should have just gone back first. Throwing this move in is just stupid. But I mean, what are you gonna do? I gotta do this. I don't think I can, I don't, even if I found that queen sack, I don't think I don't know. I just don't have that much faith in myself to win that. I just don't. So, okay, so rook g7, and it's like, eek, like, did I mess this up? So bishop e2, king e7. And with a very subtle idea of rook g8, and just kind of getting in there. So what I missed here, after this move, was rook g8, h6, rook g2. And here he has to put his queen on e1. Or I'm sorry, h7, rook g3, queen e1. With the idea of after bishop h8, he has bishop f1 trapping my rook, which I did not see. I'm missing so many diagonal retreats, it seems. Thankfully, he didn't see it either. But he played queen f1 because he's very concerned with pawns. He likes pawns a lot. But okay, here I can play bishop h8, and there is no bishop f1, and I like my position a lot. So here he makes a hideous blunder. He just likes it. He likes the pawns. But the issue with bishop takes b5 is, okay, you're getting a pawn, but I played queen b6 where my queen wanted to be in the first place. And if you defend your bishop like he did, this move is doing two things. Number one, it's threatening to take a piece. But number two, and more importantly, I'm threatening rook f2, and you're completely dead. The game is over. He just doesn't know it yet. So he plays queen c4, rook g2, and you know, we're getting close to 40 moves, but he's in like slight time pressure. He has like 15 minutes. I have around 20, 25. He plays knight to d4, and this is kind of a nice finish here. So rook b2, king a1, and now very simply, very calmly, queen c5. And he missed the point of the move. I'm threatening to checkmate. And this is mate in 4. There's no way to stop it, but he didn't understand the idea of queen c5. So he just like took it, and then I like did this, and he like did that. So that was a fun game. I saw this kind of crazy idea. I thought this was interesting, but I don't think it works because this bishop is hanging. Otherwise, queen d4 is like a pretty cool try, but it's just very unfortunate that the bishop's hanging. Am I evaluating this correctly at all? Yeah, I mean, it just sucks, but yeah, I thought that was like kind of silly that this almost worked. But yeah, just queen e1 is winning here. So I made like one big blunder in this game, but otherwise I think I played okay. And it was sort of smooth other than that, I think. Okay, anyway,